name is Thomas Buchholz. I'm a forest analyst working for the University of Vermont and an eco think tank called the Spatial Informatics Group. My research and consulting focuses on sustainable forest management, climate change and bioenergy systems in the US, Europe and Africa. I'm based here in Seattle, but I just came back from a trip to East Africa, where I visited several bioenergy projects. Lately you might have associated bioenergy in Africa largely with large-scale conversions of forests to palm oil plantations, with biofuel plantations competing for land in Africa and being exported to Europe, questionable CO2 balances, and the list could go on forever. The two projects that I want to present to you today, the next couple of minutes, are very different in how they implement modern bioenergy systems. One of them is about managing native bamboo plantations or bamboo stands in Kenya. One example I have here of a bamboo piece. Thanks, Max. The other one is about a social business and a young startup that delivers electricity to rural communities in East Africa. Both of these systems are very unique in such a way that they really try to scale the biomass they procure as well as the energy they deliver to the local context, and are very careful in how they implement these projects in a sustainable scale. I hope you enjoy. North of Nairobi, Kenya. The Aberdares are one of the last stretches of continuous forest cover in basically all of East Africa, to a large extent. They provide a very critical habitat to elephants and the endangered black rhino. They also provide all the water supply, drinking water supply for the city of Nairobi. And besides that, there are several hydropower dams that are fed by rivers coming out of these forests. The interesting thing is that the Aberdares also have large swaths of natural stands of bamboo, which in historic times have been removed and be replaced with timber plantations, pine plantations, tea plantations, cattle grazing, agricultural productivity, ignoring their economic and environmental benefits. And it seems this is about to change. Next to me stands Liam O'Meara, a Kenyan national, who has plans to start sustainable management of these natural bamboo plantations. And give us an idea of what you're up to.
We want to develop Kenya's indigenous bamboo into a commodity, into a cash crop that the government can grow and that local communities can grow, and our principal market is energy. Nearly 70% of Kenya's energy comes from firewood and charcoal, and we want to create a sustainable source of wood fuel that until now hasn't really existed. People have traditionally grown eucalyptus in Kenya as a source of wood fuel. We want to encourage people to grow an indigenous monoculture rather than a foreign monoculture. So if we can make a small success story in the Aberdares, hopefully it will grow, and hopefully we'll be able to do it on the Mau and in other places like Mount Kenya, Mount Elgin, Cheranganis, and perhaps abroad in other African countries.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks to the movie director.
Thanks.
Liam's work also got featured in a 2010 New York Times article about current challenges and potential solutions for watershed management in Kenya. Just search for New York Times, bamboo, Liam, and Kenya. Liam's crew started to harvest bamboo 6 weeks ago, and the first shipment should be at a tea factory now to dry tea. I'll keep you posted. The next stop will bring you to Uganda, where I'm working with a young startup called Pamoja that installs biomass-based electricity systems in rural communities. I will let the Pamoja guys introduce themselves, but here's a short concept sketch of their approach to provide electricity from biomass to rural Uganda. The system, called a green plant and equipped with solar panels and a biomass gasifier, delivers around 10 kilowatt and is fueled with agricultural residues and wood from agroforestry systems. Both of these biomass sources are provided by local farmers for cash. The electricity is then distributed to one of the now omnipresent telecommunication towers in rural Africa, as well as to the local community. standing here an hour west of Kampala, the capital of Uganda, in Tiboro village. This is a 300 household village, very typical for Western Uganda. A lot of agriculture is being done here. There's no natural forest cover left. People grow cassava, corn, also some coffee for cash crops. They grow firewood, and living conditions in general are here fairly basic. There's no electricity connection here, and next to me stand two guys who want to change that. This is Paik Steinlund from Finland, and this is William Kantende from Uganda, who have co-founded Pamoja Cleantech. Pamoja has installed this gasifier which can produce electricity from biomass, and they will deliver electricity to this village. This is a pilot in Uganda, and Paik will explain a little bit more what the driver is of Pamoja.
So Pamoja Cleantech was founded 2010. With founders, we met around the idea of setting up a for-profit social business to sprout the use of renewable energy technology. We realized that there are a lot of interesting environmental technologies out there, but we lack business models that reach out to the people that actually needs these type of technologies. So we work with inclusive business models to reach out to the base of the pyramid markets. And William will explain a little bit more about what actual impact on the ground these kind of technologies can have.
Thank you. As you look around here, the communities are now really happy with our technology we provided. Now we are targeting households, and we are providing them with lights for their children to read at night, so this is clean energy. Then we are also looking at improving their social businesses, where we have provided charging centers where they are charging their phones, and also we are providing a maize milling plant for this community to add value to their agriculture produce, and also improve on their income, and also add more to their social businesses.
I'm standing here next to Shashank Verma, who's from India and helps Pamoja to look into sustainable biomass supply for the gasifier. This can come from several sources. Agroforestry systems are one of them, and Shashank can tell us a bit on what that would mean.
Right, so as you can see, we have these beautiful tree species. This is called Sesbania sespen, and the farmer over here is already using an agroforestry system. So if you can look in the background, there's some banana plantation, but in the foreground you have on these boundaries these beautiful trees which is planted on the hedge, and these are great tree species. You plant them once, and they within a year you can harvest them. They're nitrogen fixing, and they provide great biomass source. So this is one of the tree species that we are considering in an agroforestry model, which would provide us with a sustainable source of biomass.
Is there any issue around competing with food production with these
Yeah,
systems?
not at all. As you can see, there's bananas in the background, and on the boundary you have got these biomass trees, these Sesbania trees. So there's no competition if you do it in a sustainable way, which is boundary plantations.
Okay, thanks. What's your plan here?
There's quite an interesting site. As you can see on top of the hill, there's a lot of degraded hill spot right there. Now we think that's a perfect place to do a bit of plantation there for our biomass supply. The reason why we choose such a low productive site is because you cannot do any agriculture farming there, and also it's difficult to grow other tree species. So acacia and species like these would grow there and be able to sustain themselves, and again provide us with a sustainable source of biomass for us.
Cool, thanks.
All right.
The key here towards sustainability is, as always, scale. This bundle of firewood weighs 10 kilos. If you take 7 of these bundles, you can convert them to up to 100 kilowatt hours of electricity, which is enough power to boost the standard of living of one African throughout 1 year significantly. If these systems are designed carefully, you can help lifting Africans out of devastating poverty, but at the same time strengthen the ecosystems that sustain us. If you want to learn more about bioenergy and biomass gasification, just search in the web for wood gasification. If you want to learn more about how to measure sustainability of these systems, just search for my name, Thomas Buchholz, Bioenergy Sustainability. you enjoyed this video clip. See you next time.